Hello everybody, it's Jenny Lane Coley. My very first time actually going live on my business page, so this is a brand new thing for me to be trying out here, so we'll see who shows up. But I really just wanted to hop on and talk about bodies. Right, we are blessed with these amazing things that we get to walk around in and that help keep us healthy and really afford us to have this amazing experience on the journey called life. And, how many of us are walking around without having ease in our bodies, maybe having some aches and pains, maybe just not really enjoying the process of having a body and having gratitude for it and appreciation for it and receiving it for the gift that it truly is. And so last year I got to be a part of a really amazing book collaboration with 13 other amazing ladies. So there are actually 14 chapters in this book, Breast Easy. And it actually became a #1 international bestseller on Amazon the day that it launched. And I'm just so grateful for being a part of that experience. And the stories in this book are truly, truly amazing. They are raw, they are real, they are vulnerable, and they're such a huge gift, not only to women, but to men as well. So this book is not just for women. And they're an especially huge gift for dropping the judgment. So we have so much judgment around our bodies, how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to be, all these messages we receive from society, from parents, from friends, from family, from magazines, from social media, from wherever it might come from. We receive all these messages about our bodies and how they're supposed to be, how we're supposed to take care of them, how we're not supposed to take care of them, how they're supposed to behave as we age, what's appropriate behavior at a specific age. And so I love the vulnerability of each and every one of the amazing ladies that chose to be a part of this book collaboration in really their journey to learning to love their breasts as well as their entire bodies. And in my chapter, it's probably the most vulnerable and raw I've ever publicly been about some of the things that have gone on in my life and along my journey. And I've shared them, in different seminars or groups or with friends and things like that that I've attended or been a part of, but really in a public manner where any complete stranger could read my story. It's really the most publicly vulnerable I have been. And I talk about, some childhood sexual abuse, how difficult it was for me to learn to enjoy my body and be okay with it as it is. I used to model several years ago, so just navigating kind of through all of that with my body and its natural muscular build and how that really wasn't acceptable in the high fashion world at that time. And lots of really cool, vulnerable things that I share. But I'm going to be going live every day for the next 6 days, including today. And each day I am going to be sharing something that is actually at the end of the chapter in the book. And that is my 6 tips for having ease with your body. And so today I'm going to share with you tip number 1. And tip number 1 is eat the damn cake. Okay. What do I mean by that? And I'm sure this is not the first time you've ever heard that verbiage or that phrase, but what do I mean by that when I say eat the damn cake? So what I mean by that is less of gorge yourself and just, if the cake is there, eat it, and more of let's let go of like the rigidity of the diet programs and the eating regimens and the rules and kind of almost the torture that we enforce on our bodies when we're trying to like eat a specific way or make sure we, it's springtime right now. So beach season is coming up. So it's all about the swimsuit body and shedding the extra pounds to get ready. And so now it's, kind of crash time to get ready before the summer. And so now it's get back in the gym because, people tend to fall off after those New Year's resolutions. They're in the gym for maybe a couple of weeks and then tend to fall off. Not everyone. Some people stick to whatever it is their plan is for the gym, but typically that happens. The fall off happens. And then it's time to get ready for beach season. So it's time to go back on these binge diets and just crazy, unrealistic, unattainable goals with trying to fit into whomever's idea of what a body should be or what a body should look like, which is kind of crazy because that actually changes over time. You go back a little while in history and you see all these portraits and paintings of very beautiful full-figured women. So it changes with the times. And so I wonder if you could begin to start to have more communion with your body and actually talk to it and actually listen to it about what foods would actually contribute to your body. Okay? Instead of, I'm going to be strict, and if you guys are jumping on, I see people jumping on and off, and I can't see who it is. So if comments start to pop up and I don't see them, I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Hi, thank you for coming, welcome. Just kind of talking about really having ease with our bodies and going over tip number 1 of my 6 tips for having ease with your body, and they're all featured in this international bestseller. In my chapter, I'm featured with 13 other women who all wrote contributory chapters in the book on things ranging from overcoming breast cancer to actually having breast implants and then having them removed. Lots of different stories. Every woman's story is very different, very real, very vulnerable, very raw, and I'm so grateful to be a part of the collaboration. But tip number 1 is eat the damn cake. So that's what we're talking about right now if you're just joining a little bit late here. And it's not about eating the cake and gourding yourself and eating whatever's in front of you just because it's there, right? And it's also not about sticking to these strict regimens, strict diets, and really kind of making yourself go without, because then what tends to happen is there's a crash and then you end up binging anyway. And so it's more about starting to begin to actually listen to your body and develop a relationship with your body and ask it what kind of foods would make it have what I like to call a foodgasm. So I am a huge, huge, huge fan of foodgasms. I love eating yummy, orgasmic foods that just make my whole body light up. Brie happens to be one of those things for me. I love brie. I love goat cheese. There's several different things, and it changes at different times, right? Because it's not about having a right answer or one right thing that I eat all the time or do all the time. It is really, truly being in the present moment with my body and asking it what it would like to eat, what would contribute to it, what's required. And it changes from time to time. And I'll share something with you that's a little bit vulnerable for me. I had a little bit of a kind of scare, if you will, here in the last couple of weeks with some abnormal cells in my body. And it prompted me to decide to really kind of ask my body some more questions, because even with a lot of the questions that I do ask and being present with my body, sometimes I kind of ignore it and eat what I want to eat anyway. And sometimes some foods give me a tummy ache and it doesn't feel very good. And so that's not really fun either, right? And so if you're on my personal Facebook page, I posted a week or so ago about going on the Budwig diet, which involves a lot of alkaline foods, kind of getting rid of all the acid and the sugar out of the body. There's kind of a regimen that goes along with it. And even with that, okay, that is not something I'm even strictly following, okay? What it's done is it has supported me in creating even more awareness with my body around what foods actually feel good in my body when I do put them in it, even over and above the foodgasms. So there's always awarenesses, there's always messages and everything. And our bodies are these really amazing tools that can provide a lot of information for us if we're actually willing to listen to them and actually willing to receive from them. So I'm not going to like deprive myself and never have sugar again and, never eat the cake, eat the damn cake, right? When it's there, what I am doing though is really asking my body a lot of questions. Will this contribute to you right now? What's going to create the most? Body, what would you like to eat? And some of this awareness has come from Access Consciousness. If you don't know, yes, I utilize a lot of the tools of Access Consciousness in my energetic healing practice, coaching, facilitation. I love those tools. They are not the answer by any means. I have just found that utilizing those tools has created a lot more ease for me in my body. And I ended up actually having a little procedure done, which I'm going to talk about more on day 6, which will be this Sunday. In tip number 6, when we get there, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that then, but got some really great news back from some tests that were done with that procedure. And I know that part of the reason why those results came back the way they did is because of one of the body processes from Access that I utilize and have been doing this kind of like 10-week challenge. This is actually week 10 from it. So super, super grateful for those tools. Again, they're not the answer by any means. They definitely have contributed to me being more present in the moment, more aware, and listening to my body in a way that I never really had before starting to utilize those tools. So if you don't know what it is, you can go to jennylyn.com and under that coaching, facilitation, energy healing tab, you can see some different videos there and find out more information about what all that is, because we are talking about Breast Easy right now. And as we go on over the next couple days and talking about the other 5 tips, there's been some really, really cool things that have shown up and that have happened since choosing to become a part of this book collaboration. And if you don't have a copy of it yet, you can always get it on Amazon.com, or if you would like me to personally autograph your copy, I do have some on hand, and I would be happy to do that. They are around $22 or so on Amazon. So if you want an autographed copy for me, it's $20. If you are domestically here in the U.S., that does include all of your shipping. So you will get a personally autographed copy from me for $20, shipping included here in the U.S. And you can just go to bit.ly/breast-easy. And I'll put that link in the comments here when we're done with the live if you would actually like a copy of the book and like to have it autographed by me. But really, that is pretty much in a nutshell what I wanted to say about tip number 1. Listen to your body. Please don't deprive it. Please don't starve it. If you get that a certain eating regimen or a certain diet might contribute to you at a particular point in time, by all means choose it. It's not about like getting it right or wrong or saying all diets are bad, don't ever use them. I'm not saying that. What I am asking you to do is to really listen to your body and have more of a relationship with it and treat it more like you would treat your child. Or if you're not a parent, your niece or your nephew, or a parent or a friend or a lover, someone that you actually really care about and care for. Like, how would you talk to them? What messages would you send to them? How would you tell them to treat their body? So I'm asking you to have that same level of care and gratitude and gentleness and kindness with you and your body, and not deprive yourself or starve yourself, but also not necessarily go crazy either, because sometimes we can use food emotionally and use it as a way to kind of cover up and stuff whatever it is we're not willing to look at and whatever it is we're not willing to process. So that's not necessarily being really kind and gentle with your body either. So I wonder what else could be possible for you if you were willing to start to listen to your body more, pay attention to it, and eat really yummy, awesome, orgasmic foods that are a total contribution to you and your body. So that is it for tip number 1, eat the damn cake. And we will see you tomorrow for tip number 2.